Hello and welcome to today's webinar on AVEVA Operations Management Interface. My name is Kavi Rupraj, and in this session we'll be looking at what are the components for an OMI application, what are some of the features and benefits of using OMI, as well as taking a look at the new features in the 2023 R2 release and overview of the licensing. Let's get into it. So firstly, what is AVEVA System Platform and what is AVEVA Operations Management Interface? So AVEVA System Platform, formerly Wonderware System Platform, is an industrial software platform built on Orchestra technology. It contains an integrated set of services and an extensible data model to manage plant control and information management systems. System Platform supports both the supervisory control layer and the manufacturing execution system layer, presenting them as a single information source. System Platform and its clients provide the framework and tools for developing, executing, monitoring, and visualizing your applications. Services such as data acquisition and historization and alarming are provided by System Platform components. Services such as your visualization and trending are provided by System Platform clients. System Platform software is based on industry standards and Microsoft technologies such as Windows.NET, SQL Server, IIS, and others. Orchestra provides a fundamental technology and services for multi-user object-oriented platforms. Operations Management Interface leverages both HMI and SCADA systems to deliver a convergence platform for both operational technology and information technology. It provides a visualization engine for rich modern user experiences across platforms. Built on the same core Orchestra technology as System Platform, the Operations Management Interface visualization engine provides rich modern user experiences across platforms. With Operations Management Interface, applications can be assembled based on a data model, resulting in minimal engineering and increased manageability. Additionally, an out-of-the-box framework provides native multi-monitor support. Operations Management Interface is installed as part of Application Server, and it can coexist on the same computer as InTouch for System Platform. The components listed are some of the basic components required for creating our OMI application. So as you can see, there's System Platform, there's screen profiles, there's layouts, and there's industrial graphics. Let's have a look at each of these. So with System Platform, an Operations Management Interface application is called a view application or just view app. View apps are represented as objects that are created, configured, and deployed from within the System Platform IDE. Once deployed, they can be launched through the AVEVA OMI Application Manager or AVEVA InTouch Application Manager. View apps have built-in navigation model that enables users to browse for and display graphics and other types of content in a running view app. The default navigation model is based on the plant model of the Galaxy, but the navigation hierarchy can be customized. View apps have built-in security that is integrated with the Galaxy security. View app security is built into the application's navigation so that the navigation item can be shown or hidden at runtime based on the logged in user's security credentials as defined for the Galaxy. If we look at screen profiles, so a screen profile defines the physical characteristics of one or more client workstation monitors that will show a running view app, including how the screens are arranged with respect to each other. Each screen defined in a screen profile represents a physical monitor. Creating a screen profile does not rely on hardware monitors or screens. You can create a screen profile first and then configure the hardware monitors for the computer afterwards. For testing a multi-screen view app in runtime, you do not need to have a complete set of physical monitors with the corresponding screen profile connected to the test computer. You can start testing with a single monitor. Multiple screens will display as separate windows to represent all the screens included in the screen profile. A layout defines the organization of one or more rectangular areas of a screen called panes, which can contain content shown in the running view app. A pane is a subdivision of a layout and is a container for content. Content can be symbols, apps, or a layout assigned from another layout. A layout also defines the behavior and types of interactions supported by each pane. Panes can be configured to support runtime operator behaviors such as panning, zooming, or resizing. Industrial graphics can be used to customize graphic representations of a process in a view application. They can be embedded in or linked to an automation object, providing an efficient way to visualize object-specific information in your application, such as processing status, alarms, history, and more. They also support the use of custom properties, relative references, scripts, and more. Industrial graphics are known as symbols. Pre-built libraries of symbols are provided with system platform, including the Industrial Graphic Library and in a Situational Awareness Library. You can use symbols from these libraries in your application or create your own symbol with the graphic editor in the system platform IDE. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the features and benefits of OMI. Okay, so we're going to be looking at standardization and reusable engineering, responsive development, third-party integration or external content, your OMI apps, your historical playback, navigation, and content types. Firstly, let's look at OMI apps. So AVEVA OMI apps are essentially pre-built controls that provide specific capabilities or functions within the OMI view app. These OMI apps are added to layouts to display content in runtime. Custom apps can also be created with a software development kit and then imported into the Galaxy. The web browser control is an out-of-the-box app for viewing external content, and it provides a full-featured standards compliant web browser for the view app. Some of the other apps include Alarm app, which is a quick and easy way to view current and historical alarms and events in a running view app. These alarms and events are displayed within the context of the current navigation. The PLC Logic Viewer app empowers end users to troubleshoot PLC code by visualizing runtime PLC control logic without any additional software. These are just some of the apps that allow you to build content for the View app at runtime. Making use of the pre-built apps can save time, reduce your development costs, and reduce time to value. So let's have a look at this demonstration. So for this demonstration, we're going to be making use of the title bar app. Okay, so just to demonstrate how easy it is to embed an OMI app into your application and put into runtime. Okay, so we just embedded a title bar app. Okay, and as you can see, there's different configuration that can be done for it. You can see we can change the title name. So with OMI, you can give it your application name. Okay. Okay, so let's look at this in runtime. So as you can see, we have the user that's logged in. We can switch a user and we can log out. We can make use of the on-screen keyboard. We can also see the application name, which is AVEVA OMI. And we can also minimize, restore, and close this application. So next we're going to be looking at standardization and reusable engineering. So standardize the use of templates and change propagation to build and maintain applications sustainably and maximize reusable engineering. Object wizards create versatile templates that adapt based on the device's configuration. Symbol wizards standardize custom configuration options like graphical elements, scripts, or custom properties and automatically assemble them into a single composite symbol. So all you need to do is build once, deploy anywhere. And with AVEVA Connect, the standardization and reuse across on-premise, cloud, and mobile without retraining on visualization technology. Next, we're going to be looking at responsive development. So easily create the best user experience across multi-form factor display devices from monitors to smartphones. Use the device simulator and preview modes to build, test, and optimize any monitor configuration or content to perform on every display screen, regardless of resolution. You can even test multi-monitor configurations without physical access to monitors themselves. How does this benefit you? You can configure applications once and deploy actionable content anywhere on any device. Let's have a look at a responsive layout. Okay, so here we have our layout, but just to note, once you click on that, it asks you to basically, it basically gives you a notification that everything is going to be removed. Okay, so as you can see, you have your mobile, you have your tablet, you have your laptop, and you have your monitor displays. You can also rotate your screen, and you can show and hide hidden panes. Okay, so if we click on that icon, we can hide a pane, and we can hide it during development. What are some of the other things you can do? We can add apps to the screen. So let's go ahead and add an alarm app. Okay, so all we need to do is just drag and drop the alarm app. And if we switch between our displays, we can see how the alarm app actually scales. Okay, so we can go to tablet, we can go to the monitor and laptop. Okay, so what are some of the other things you can do? So we can also create additional panes. We can move the different panes. We can also decrease the column count. And we can also delete a pane. Next, we're looking at third-party integration or external content. So external content refers to media content outside of a Galaxy that can be linked to a view app and displayed during runtime. System platform includes some pre-built apps to show content specified by external content items, such as web content, Microsoft Word documents, images, and more. To associate external content to a view app, you can manually assign the external content item to a layout pane. You can also link an external content item to an automation object for autofill navigation. Single external content item can be linked to multiple objects. The Power BI OMI app provides a set of interfaces to interact with Power BI reports page. If we look at historical playback, so Operations Management Interface provides the ability to play back data historized with the historian. This could be useful for analyzing historical data for key performance indicators or KPIs and overview information through graphics. System attributes specifically for the playback feature can be used with animations and scripts within the industrial graphic to provide functionality to playback historical data in a running view app. Examples are enabling playback mode and setting the start time and end time of the historical data that can be displayed. Let's have a look at how this works. Okay, so as you can see, it was added to a slide-in pane, Cascade playback. I just need to enable it. So there's a toggle switch that you can enable. Okay, so once it's enabled, I can set my date from. I can set my date to, and I can play this. Okay, so as you would notice that now we have blinking text. Okay, so this indicates that the screen is in playback mode. I can fast forward to a specific time, and I can also change the speed at which it changes values. And we can navigate through the screens while in historical playback mode, and it will show you the values for that specific item or object. And once done, we just need to put it back into real-time mode. So next we're going to be looking at navigation. The navigation mechanism within a view app controls the presentation of content at runtime. For example, a view app can include a tree control that shows the hierarchical organization of the built-in navigation of the view app. Selecting an item for the tree or from the tree at runtime displays corresponding content in one or more panes of the view app layout. Your hamburger app controls the movement of the selected slide-in panes at runtime. And at runtime, the hamburger app appears as a button consisting of 3 horizontal lines. And when users click the button, the selected slide-in pane appears. Users can click the button again or click an area outside of the sliding pane to hide the pane. If we look at your navigation app sets the current navigation item within a view app to show the associated content. It includes 2 controls. Your nav breadcrumb control. This control shows the user's selected sequential path through the view app's navigation model in a running view app. Each segment shown in a breadcrumb display shows the selected navigation item. You also have your nav tree control. This control shows the hierarchical organization of items in a view app's navigation model. When configuring a view app, the navigation model is visible in the view app editor. At runtime, users can expand or collapse the navigation hierarchy to show or hide navigation items and make selections. It also includes a search tool for searching items from the navigation model. So let's have a look at how it works. So as you can see, I have 2 panes. So I have a pane 4 and a pane 3. Let's go and just search for nav. So first we're going to take our nav breadcrumb control, and then we're going to use our tree control and we're going to drag it to the panes. Okay, so if we go to properties, we would see that there are some configurable attributes for these apps, but we're going to leave everything as default. Okay, so it's the same with the breadcrumb. We're going to leave everything as default. Okay. Now we're going to switch to our running view app. So let's switch to our running view app now. Okay, so as you can see on the sliding pane on the left-hand corner, we have our navigation tree. So we can basically expand our navigation, and we can select an item to display the content relating to it. So as you can see, the hierarchy, which is South Africa, Gauteng, Johannesburg. Okay. The other thing we can do is we can search. So if we click on the sliding pane again to open our tree nav tree control, we can search for Gauteng, and if I select Gauteng, it takes me to the content relating to it. And if we look at our breadcrumb, we would see the hierarchy of South Africa, Gauteng. Let's go ahead and search for Midrand. Okay, if I select Midrand, I see that it displays the content relating to Midrand. And the hierarchy again shows South Africa, Gauteng, Midrand. So in OMI, there's content types. So using content types is a classification technique for determining the types of content that can be shown in a layout pane of the running view app. For example, when you configure panes for a layout, you can specify content types for that pane. When you create symbols, you can specify content types for the symbols. You can also assign content types to layouts and external content items. Then at runtime, where there is a match between the content type of the content items, which is your symbol, layout, or external content, and the content type of the layout pane, the content can be displayed in that pane. Let's have a look at how this works. Okay, so here on our layout, we're going to assign content types to different panes. Okay, so we're going to use two as an example, two panes as an example. So in this pane, we're going to make it a faceplate. As you can see, we have multiple content types that we can choose from, and we can also enable use for autofill. Okay, and if we go to our symbol, we also need to enable a content type here to associate it with that specific pane. Okay, so if we go back to our layout, let's look at the other pane. Okay, and for this one, we're going to leave it as detailed real-time trend and docs. Okay, so let's go to our layout. So we're basically assigning a layout to this layout. Okay, and we're going to be making use of real-time trend. Okay, and let's put this into runtime. Okay, so as you can see on the right-hand side, we have our trend screen. Okay, so that's for Madrid. And then on our bottom right-hand corner, we also have our faceplate screen. Okay, so let's look at System Platform 2023 R2. So System Platform 2023 was released with 3 patches. System Platform Enterprise has been discontinued, and System Platform 2023 R2 was released at the beginning of the year. One of the biggest improvements has been on the OMI web client. There's a lot of other features with this release, which I will show you later in the presentation. Okay, so let's look at some of the features that's been released with 2023 R2. So firstly, let's look at the OMI web. Okay, so if we look at the screen, we see that we can open up our OMI web client on different browsers, that being your Chrome, Firefox, Edge, or Opera. Okay, and if we look at the different views, we can see they're all synchronized. We can also go to our view app on our phone, and we can browse it on a mobile application or mobile device. Okay, so basically you just need to go to your web address. And this is actually quite an interesting one. This is actually inside a vehicle. So if there's internet connectivity within a vehicle, you can actually access your web client from here as well. But it's not recommended, especially in driving. Let's look at the new IDE, UI, UX. Okay, so as you can see, we can search for different objects. In our case, we're searching for a valve. We can also change it to a view as list. And you would notice that there are some new icons. Okay, so as you can see the warning, you can see that the object is checked out. And once we make a change, we can see that there's pending deployments. Okay, so if I click on the guide, I can see what each icon means, or the key means. Let's look at internationalized string translation. Okay, so here we're going to select a list of tags, and we're going to look at how the translation works. So the ones that we just exported, we've just pasted into the Excel document. Okay, so let's copy and paste our translated or translations. Okay, so at runtime, you would notice that all the different uh, headings, subheadings, navigation, and warning messages are all currently in English. Okay, so even our alarming, our historical data is all in English. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's change that. Let's make it Afrikaans. And as you can see, everything has changed. Everything has been translated to Afrikaans. Okay, you can see our trend control, our alarm has been translated. We can also do the same if it's German. So this is just one of the newer features that's actually quite helpful. Okay, so some of the other features include your embed content, your alarm latching, your AVEVA Operations Control connected experience, your decom removal, deployment guides, and global buffering. So these are all included in your System Platform 2023 R2 release. Let's look at licensing. Okay, so perpetual licensing offers permanent licenses with no expiration date. A perpetual license applies to a specific purchased software version. Flex licensing offers subscription-based licenses that are renewed for a specific term, and the license is for credits redeemable to access a wide range of software based on the needs at the time. You also have supervisory client licenses. A supervisory client license enables the use of Operations Management Interface and InTouch for System Platform. It can be used for thick clients, that's your desktop, or thin clients for remote access, such as remote desktop server, or even web clients through InTouch Access Anywhere, which uses the remote desktop server. So that wraps up our webinar exploring AVEVA Operations Management Interface. If you want to hear more about AVEVA Operations Management Interface or any other product from our extensive portfolio, be sure to contact us to arrange a visit to our Customer Experience Center located at our offices in Midrand. Thank you for attending this webinar, and hopefully it was insightful.